Okay, welcome back. This time I'm going to show you how to use the TI-84 in determining the least squares regression line equation, and we will be using this data as our illustration because it won't make any sense if you don't have any data. Alright, so this is about the longevity of animals that were in captivity, like say in the zoo, and then we have here is the average number of years that the animal lived, and then max is the maximum number of years that a certain species lived. Okay, so we take the average number of years as our x and the maximum number of years as our y. So x is our independent variable and y is our dependent variable. Alright, so let's make sure that our calculator is on. So we see that it's already on because the cursor is blinking. Now on this home screen, this is the home screen, press the stat button. So the stat button is right on the same row as the green key, that's the alpha key. The third key there is the stat key. Press stat key. Now you should see the menu menu, and you see edit, then 1. So press enter. So now you see columns labeled as L1, L2, and L3. L1 is where we're going to put the values of x, or the independent variables, and then L2 is where we're going to enter the values for y. Okay, so let's start putting in the values for x. So that we have 12, then just press enter each time you have the numbers. So we now have 15, 8, 35, 40, 41, and 20. Alright, so to check if you have all the numbers in your data, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, so we have 8 numbers for x, and to find out if you have all the numbers there, you see there L1 parenthesis 9. That means the cursor now is on the 9th space. So if you move the cursor to 20, that's the 8th. So that means you have entered all the 8th values for x. Alright, now let's move the cursor to L2 by using the arrow key. Okay, that's the moving arrow key to the right. Okay, so now we are in L2. Okay, we start with the first number, which is 47. Make sure that it is in the same line as 12, the first number in L1. And then just enter the number, press enter each time. 40, 20, 70, 77, 61, and 54. Alright, so 54 is the 8th number there. So you have L2 parenthesis 8. That means 54 is the 8th value. And make sure that the two columns have the same numbers. Number of entries. If one column has more than the other, then the calculator will not be able to give you the equation. You'll get an error as a response. Alright, so now that we have our values for x and y, we are ready to compute for the equation. Alright, so now we go back to stat, and this time see the cursor is in the edit menu, so that means we need to use the calc. Slide the cursor using the right arrow button to go to calc, and then use the down arrow button to bring the cursor down to 4, because line reg, that's linear regression. Okay, that's the function there, and it is ax plus b. So take note, a is the coefficient of x and b is the constant. Now press enter. Okay, once you get to the screen, just press enter until you get to calculate. There you go. Alright, so now this is what we need. As you can see, you have the y equals ax plus b, then you have a value of a, the value of b, then you have the value of r squared, and the value of r. You might be asking what r squared and r are all about. We will discuss them later in our lessons. Okay, so let's just focus on a and b so that we can have our equations. So For A and B, the values have many digits behind or after the decimal point. So let's just say we will round off each number to 2 decimal places, okay? Or it depends on whatever is instruction given in the task. Let me rewrite the equation. So we have there y equals ax plus b, where a is given to be 1 point. All right, so you have 221600688. We want to round this number off to 2 decimal places, so which means to the hundredths place. So we need to look at the thousandths place. The thousandths place is less than 1, so therefore we can just drop off whatever remaining digits there are after the thousandths place. So our number value for A is just 1 and 22 hundredths. Okay, for B, you have 22 point. All right, so you have 4457813. We want to round this off to the nearest hundreds. The digit there is 4, but look at the digit in the thousands. You have 5. Remember, 5 and above move up. So we have to add 1 to the digit in the hundreds place. So the 4 there becomes a 5. So you have 22 and 45 hundredths. So now that we have some round estimated value for A and B, substitute the values of A and B correctly into the equation. So we have y equals A, which is 1 and 22 hundredths, multiplied to x, then plus B, which is 22 and 45 hundredths. Make sure that you do the proper substitution, otherwise your equation will not be correct. Okay, thank you.